All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a little bit. Just wanted to do a quick portfolio update in the two main accounts, the TD Ameritrade and the Composer account. I actually cashed out about $80,000 of the Interactive Brokers. As I mentioned in a previous video, I bought an Airbnb. Well, I bought a property and turned it to an Airbnb, I should say. It wasn't previously an Airbnb. It's done quite well. I know there's a lot of this Airbnb buzz going around social media and such, but I've started out tremendously November, December. It's in North Carolina, so January and February are slow, but already have a decent amount of bookings, strong amount of bookings actually, for the spring, summer, and into the fall already. So very happy about that. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick portfolio update here. I'm up about $70,000 in January, which is a pretty significant amount. And, it's not to brag in any capacity. It's just to show the volatility both ways. So obviously 2022 was a tough year for a lot of people in markets. It was I believe like the worst year since 2008. I also think 2022 was one of the worst years, if not the worst year, for the traditional 60-40 portfolio. So there wasn't generally a place to hide out. Pretty much wherever you were affected, and maybe unless you were in cash. So anyway, so let me just kind of show like a little portfolio update you can kind of see. So let's reduce my screen here. Just kind of get rid of it for a second. And so you can see January here, 209,598. So let's just do 209, and this one is 238 and change. So let's just do 238 and 209. Nice round numbers. 238 minus 209 is 29,000. And let's come over here to TD Ameritrade. And you see, so we have 29,000 there. And let's do 493 minus 449, 44,000 plus 29,000, 73,000. So let's just call it 70,000 for a nice round number. And let me bring my camera back here. I'm going to go Logitech Brio. Beautiful. So that's just to kind of show you that, things can go bad and they can go good very quickly. Things in 2022 were difficult, but then you're seeing here positive volatility, positive upside. I have a quotation that a lot of people like it and shared in different places. The ability to deal with volatility is a superhuman power in investing. So you can definitely see that here. And so as far as where things are on these two accounts, in the mid sevens. I diversified a little bit into real estate. In addition to the 24 units, I now have the short-term rental in the mountains of North Carolina. And you can see here, let's go back to TD just to see, like, on a day like this, to the end of the month, up 5,000. And then you can see transactions. A lot of dividends usually come off. So in the last 2 days here, CM, that's a Canadian bank, AMSA, that's energy, PFFA, preferred shares, BNS. It's like a lot of the Canadian banks, which I love, issued their dividends. BKU, Bank United, BGR, that's an energy fund. UDR, I believe that's a multifamily REIT, if I'm not mistaken. I bought a lot of those in the crash of 2020, and I've just never sold them, and they're just throwing off dividends. LTC, another REIT, over $10, $10.42. And LY, $37. LUV, that's Southwest. QYLD, that's a popular covered call ETF, of about $15. So you can just see like money coming off of the account in the form of dividends. And this is really also showing the power of compounding, because this money's coming off and then it's being reinvested immediately back into stocks, back into REITs, so on and so forth. And then the next time it throws off dividends. And that's how you really start to compound. And so I also have, I share this sometimes a little bit. I have a family member also with a Composer account. And in that particular Composer account, that's about 35,000. And that one, I've utilized a lot of the Discord, Reddit, Slack. One might even call them the overfit strategies, so to speak, because this person has a decent amount of vanilla index funds, and so this is something that is really hyper aggressive. In fact, there's from the Reddit, the Composer Reddit, which I'll show in a second. But yeah, so that particular smaller Composer account is about 35. Yeah, so here is actually, it looks like Composer just made an announcement today. I'll just read it here. And I haven't really had a chance to do a deep dive. I didn't see it like in the back end of Composer itself. But it says, we are excited to announce the launch of our ETF database. Our goal is to make it easier for investors to access information on popular ETFs, including performance data, top holdings, and related automated trading strategies. ETF database officially live on Product Hunt, so be sure to head over there to show your support. Our database features include intuitive search engine to help you quickly find investment opportunities that meet your criteria, snapshots of each ETF, including their top 10 holdings, and the ability to backtest performance over time, the ability to compare ETFs side by side and identify correlated, uncorrelated, and inversely correlated options, the ability to identify opportunities based on predefined strategies or create your own. And every time I hear the word correlation, I think of Ray Dalio in that video that I've shared previously, The Holy Grail of Investing. Just search on YouTube, Ray Dalio, Holy Grail of Investing. And he talks that for him, that's the secret of investing, is to find, maybe 5, 8, 10 uncorrelated assets that do well over time. I know there's a lot of debate on that. Like, for example, like Warren and Charlie at Berkshire don't really adhere to diversifying your assets. Many people refer to it as diversification. There's the expression, put all your eggs in one basket and watch that basket. But then people who study portfolio theory, and they use data to really showcase the benefits of diversification. So let's just go on here. At Composer, we believe that investment research is a crucial component of building robust investing strategies. This ETF database is an extension of our core offering, automated trading. We hope it will empower our community with the knowledge and tools they need to make informed investment decisions. A special thank you to our dedicated team, so on and so forth. Started exploring here. So this just came out just before I turned on the camera. And this is the link here from Product Hunt. And it looks like it looks like you can search by name. You can filter. So you can filter bond, commodity, currency, equity, other, target date. You can filter by leverage. Let me go back here. It looks like I have 3x. You could go like just 2x and 3x and then uncheck 3x, and then you're going to see just the 2x funds. So this is interesting if you're really looking for, like, you're building a strategy, let's say, and you're like, I need a 2x or a 3x in this particular spot. So let's just like pull up, this is the 3x. Let's pull up like what it's going to do. SPXL, which is like a U Pro. Right, here we go. Let's pull up U Pro because it's like more well known than SPXL generally. View and see what it shows. Oh, cool. Actually, oh wow, this is the first time I'm looking at this. Wow. So they incorporated their back testing on individual ETFs. And look at that. Wow, that's impressive. Inception date, expense ratio, volume. Oh, wow, this is really cool. Top 10 holdings, measure of risk or vol. Oh, it gives the max drawdown, the standard deviation, the Sharpe ratio, Kalmar ratio. And then let's go like, this is going to 2009. Let's go 3 year. And you can see it over the last 3 years, it hasn't done well. And then, it's going to, over those 3 years, it's going to showcase the Sharpe, the Kalmar of the 3 years. 1 month trailing return, 3 months trailing return, max drawdown 76.8. Wow. See, does it have the CAGR? Let's see here. Yeah, if you just, hold it here, it's going to show you. So it's definitely underperformed. So let's go back. But this is really cool to be able to do this, just in the ETF database as well. What a great addition. So you can see going back to 2016, so you're going back about 7 years, definitely outperformed. And 1 month trailing return, 13.2. Standard deviation, Sharp, Calmar, YU Pro, correlated. Okay, so this is, correlations on the bottom here showing correlations. Wow. Yeah, I mean, because UPro, basically IVV, SPY, they're the 3 times version, so the correlation should be high. And then I wonder if you can do, yeah, this is really cool. So now you can look at what is the most inversely correlated ETF to UPro. Obviously, it's going to be the short funds, it looks like. Yeah. Wow, this is really great data that they've added. And I didn't know this turning on the camera. I'm just kind of discovering it now. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to play around with this. Hopefully they'll put it in the, see, I don't see it here yet, maybe because they just, and I don't know if it'll be in the Discover or if it'll be a separate icon like ETF Database. Maybe it'll be over here. I'm not exactly sure, but definitely it doesn't look like it's incorporated yet into like when you log into Composer. I wouldn't think it would be a separate thing. I assume that they'll bring it into the software soon. Yeah, and then I was saying, like, and this is the Discord. Let me go back. So this is, yeah. So this is the Composer Reddit, some good information, about 1,400 people there. And then the Discord, and that's why I joked earlier saying that smaller account, the $35,000 account, is really kind of the Discord, Slack, Reddit overfit strategies, meaning these really, you see like Jaewon Jung, Derek Nielsen, Garen Phillips, things like the Manhattan Project, and there's, let me just scroll down a little bit, Beta Baller. I mean, there's just so many of these. It's actually really hard to keep up. This is, there's JJ, that's Jaewon Jung. He started in the Slack. A lot of these, I interact. I'm friends with Derek Nielsen. I chat with him a lot, and he's done a lot of these, and Garen and some others. TQQ for the long term, risk on, risk off, hedge funding. So there's just so many in the Discord, and it is really hard to keep up if you're not looking every day and finding. Because what will happen is the strategy will develop, and then there'll be a permutation on that strategy, then a permutation on that permutation, a permutation on that so on and so forth. And so it can be hard to follow along. And maybe, some are overfit perhaps to a certain extent. But I do think that, maybe I'll be wrong, but I do think some of those strategies over a long time frame of 5, 8, 10, 12-year strategy will perhaps not have the same astronomical returns, but will provide some form of alpha based on the rational indicators and triggers that are used. Based on data and research. So we'll see. I'm not like saying that that's 100%, but like I said, I have, found a member with that 35,000 in Composer on the smaller amount. Now, having said that, I wouldn't have them in that if they didn't have a significant amount of their net worth in vanilla index funds, just basic stuff. So they have the ability, if someone only had 35,000, I wouldn't advise them to put it all in, in some of these strategies. But so yeah, so that's that, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, I'm going to play around with the ETF database. It looks really fascinating. A great addition by Composer. I'll keep you guys updated on everything. But yeah, up about, not a bad month, about 73,000 or so. A lot of dividends coming off, and then the Airbnb in North Carolina is off to a wonderful start. Hopefully that will continue. Any questions or anything, always feel free to reach out. Take care. Ciao.